My name is Caleb, and I'm a 30-year-old photographer from the suburbs of San Francisco. I'm going to tell you the story of how I learned the true meaning of family. I've spent my life as a ghost, fading into the corners of rooms I was never meant to haunt. For 30 years, I carried a wound so deep it felt like my shadow had claws. It wasn't until a letter slid under my door that I realized the truth. I wasn't just forgotten. I was erased. Growing up, my sister Nora was a wildfire. She blazed through our house, her laughter loud enough to rattle the windows, her tantrums fierce enough to bend the world to her will. Me, I was the quiet current beneath, unnoticed unless I made waves. At dinner, Nora would demand the best seat, the biggest slice, and my mom would comply like it was a sacred ritual. If I dared to speak, my words were swept away in her storm. "Caleb's fine," my dad would mutter, his eyes already back on her. Fine. That word was a chain binding me to silence. By 17, I learned to stop fighting for a spotlight that was never mine. Perfect grades? A shrug. My first photography exhibit? A quick good job before Nora's latest drama stole the stage. Her engagement to a smug ad exec named Julian was a full-blown festival. I tried to share my promotion at a holiday dinner, my voice steady as I described the studio I joined. Halfway through, Nora stood, her ring flashing like a warning. "Huge news," she crowed, and the room ignited. My moment was snuffed out. I forced a smile, though, because ghosts don't scream. Then came her engagement party. I wasn't there. I found out through a stranger's Instagram. My family's faces were glowing in a garden I'd never seen. My mom, my dad, my cousins, even Uncle Theo, who claimed he'd rather die than dress up, all there, laughing, toasting Nora's future. No invite, no call, no hint that I'd been missed. I sat in my loft, the city humming outside. But inside it was just me and a silence that felt like sinking into tar. My hand shook as I scrolled, each photo a knife twisting deeper. I called my dad the next morning, my voice a tight wire. "I saw the posts," I said. He went quiet, the kind of quiet that screams guilt. "Caleb," he finally said, "we didn't think you'd want the fuss. Nora's particular. We didn't want any friction." Friction, me? The guy who'd spent decades biting his tongue, swallowing every overlooked birthday, every "Caleb's fine." I didn't shout. I just said, "Then you won't mind missing my wedding." His chuckle was brittle like cracking ice. "Don't be absurd, son." Absurd. That word lit a match in my chest. For the first time, I hung up without another word. I had been with Emma for 3 years. She was moonlight, soft, steady, the kind of person who saw the parts of me I'd buried. We talked about forever, but I kept it locked away, private and sacred. After that call, something broke free. I proposed on a cliffside at sunrise, the ocean roaring below, her smile brighter. Then the dawn. She said yes, and I vowed one thing. My wedding would be ours, not theirs. We planned it in secret. A coastal estate, waves crashing nearby, Emma's family weaving garlands and roasting clams. Uncle Theo helped, his gruff voice soft over the phone. "You deserve this, Caleb," he said. "Be the star for once." Invitations went to those who saw me. No mom, no dad, no Nora. I didn't post or announce it. I let the quiet do the talking. Days before the wedding, my phone buzzed. My cousin Lena sent a snapshot. It was my invitation left on Theo's desk. "Your dad saw this," she texted. "He's unraveling." Calls poured in from my dad, my mom, and Nora. Voicemails stacked up. My mom's voice was splintering. "Caleb, you're our blood." Please, I didn't answer. Not out of spite, but because I was done letting their regret rewrite my truth. The wedding morning, a text from Nora. "You're heartless, Caleb." Heartless. That word sank into me like a stone. Heartless for wanting one moment where I wasn't a ghost. I didn't reply. But hours before the vows, there was a tentative, almost afraid knock. I opened the door and there was Nora. She wasn't the wildfire. Just a woman, eyes red, hands twisting her scarf.
"Can I come in?"
she asked. I nodded, my pulse a drumbeat. She stood in my kitchen, her voice small. "I didn't know Dad skipped you for the party. I thought you just didn't show." I stared. "You didn't notice I was gone?" Her silence was louder than any apology. "I'm sorry," she murmured. "I got caught in their spotlight." "I didn't see how it burned you." For the first time, I saw her, a sister molded by the same hands that pushed me aside. I didn't absolve her, but I said, "You can come. Only you." The wedding was a dream I didn't know I could have. Emma walked down the aisle and the world hushed. "We vowed to hold each other above all else." Nora sat up front, silent, tears streaking her face. Theo gripped my shoulder. I wasn't a ghost anymore. I was alive and seeing a whole future. But as we sliced the cake, a server handed me a letter slipped under the gate. It was addressed to me, my name scrolled on the front. My breath caught. I tore it open. Caleb, it read. We saw the pictures. We know we broke you. We're sorry. Let us make it right. I stood still, Emma's hand anchoring me. The words didn't heal the years of being erased, but they cracked the door I thought I'd bolted shut. A chance, maybe, that they felt the weight of my absence. I haven't called back. That letter sits on my counter, a fragile thread I'm not ready to pull. But with Emma beside me, I know one thing. I don't need their light. I found my own.